This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something. I just for reference, so you guys can see, this is the list of that I was working on over the last like 4 days. These are the skills, and I think of them as, like I said, kind of modules or functions, right?
You're not sharing.
I know I put them in Telegram.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
I was about to say you're not showing it on the.
I can share my screen and show them, but yeah, it's the same. Sorry, I thought you'd just be easier to post it there. Um, and I had Claude group them for me to be a little more. But these are my AutoHotkey skills, I should say. I have a few others that I use, but they're not specific to AutoHotkey. So I have stuff around creating GUIs, using graphical stuff, our notify class, the mouse tips, the things for revising and fixing and converting from V2, for creating our documentation, which has been phenomenal. It creates a docs folder and updates, and it actually looks at our script object because we have the pretty links in it and builds links to stuff for us. We do a lot of stuff, obviously, for running it from terminal, right? So that was a really important one for me to get working, as with the this file IO, because I'm under Dropbox and I don't want it to use the file append, so I want to make sure it gets that right. So for data stuff and storage or any files, and for the clipboard, and a lot of it, like the clipboard one, mostly uses the WinClip API, which is a class that we have, right? But a lot of these point to certain libraries and stuff, and our FFmpeg library in Excel, and then the two. I was just going to use OpenRouter, but it suggested having one for Claude because there are some things you can do with Claude that you can't do through OpenRouter. So I said, okay, we'll make that one. The mouse tips, that's the tool tips that you see on the screen that like Irfan showed you earlier.
Mhm.
But yeah, so now when I go create a new project, it's drawing on these, and I need to go again and say, okay, and I can ask Claude, look at my, I need to be very specific because I have so many files, but look at my S drive, go to the root drive of each folder and find the AutoHotkey file, scan those, and now tell me what else is missing in here. What do I often do? What are modules I should have that we use? Like maybe even zipping files or something, right? Or the creating the icons or resources, or I'm just throwing things out there, right? I'm like, what are things that we often do in our scripts that I shouldn't leave to chance for it to just build on its own and eat up? Was Ray, you said the mark it down thing, right? Like you push your files through there, mark it down, and then you have that file too once you've done it, right? So you convert it to mark it down, and now you can, if you needed to reuse it later, you can. You've done it once, and now you can just keep using that for wherever you want, right? So same kind of concept. I'm going to build the bridge once, build it the right way, and now I can just keep reusing that bridge multiply. And I haven't done it yet, but I shared the thing yesterday, I think, on connect chaining together skills. So you could say first do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, right? So I could give it an order on how to go about building an actual new tool. But yeah, if you look at that list and think of something that you guys do, like just please throw it out there because it's hard to realize what you don't realize, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Those are the things I think about a lot, but um I'm not sure what else. Like it suggested the fine text thing, and I'm like, I don't really use that very often. That's a really rare thing for us. So I didn't build a skill around that. Maybe UIA, once we finish our UIA model, I think that would definitely be one that we would
That looks like that would be a good skill to have.
oh yeah, because it's for most programs, that'll be once once AI is writing the code for us, it'll be
Well,
a phenomenal tool.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw the news with Claude and like the next version that they're not going to release it. And I'm thinking if that is true, basically everything we're doing is going to be like, I just need this, and it would just write the whole thing if it's
I,
that powerful.
yeah, I think they'll release it. They'll just, first they're giving it to a lot of people for them to use it to lock up their own tools, right? And maybe they don't release it exactly as it is now, but they'll find a way to limit it, I'll bet you, and then it'll get a version of it'll get released.
Well, that's what I'm thinking also, but I'm just saying, but if they're giving it like to all those major corporations and saying, hey, this thing found some bugs like we wouldn't even tell it to, and it just found it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of very powerful.
Oh, yeah, it sounds.
You know what I mean? It's just.
Well, the financial pressures and incentives are towards releasing it. I mean, they built it, they've got it, they spent all that money. What are they going to do now?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think they'll release it. It's just a matter of them not releasing it too soon because they need to give it to these other companies that we all interface with, that if they release it and hackers get to it,
right,
will make more of a problem.
And if they don't release it, OpenAI will reach a similar level in a couple of months, and then there'll be two. And when there's two, game theory pushes one to want to get first advantage.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if they don't release it now and they release it in a few months, and not like I stop working on the one now, so you know what I mean, they could have another one almost waiting in the wings, ready to go because they're not waiting. It just, yeah, it's just because it like Windows has that many bugs that are like 0 days that they were talking about that are in the news. Microsoft needs to fix it before they release it because just anybody getting a hold of it could say, hey, scan Windows and find the bugs. And yeah.
And then somebody was saying, what if China had reached this level first?
Yep. Or anybody, yeah.
It's basically anybody. If the tool's that powerful, it's anybody that gets their hands on it. And it might be out there already that no one knows about. But just saying that, with Claude.
Yeah. Well, and I'd still argue, even though I'm not disagreeing with what we're talking about, but that little example here's what it falls back to: when Anthropic accidentally released Claude, and I forget that guy's name, that basically copied it in a few hours, right? That was a big what for me? Like, that's insane, and that was why I did that purposefully. Hey, let's try to borrow a Mac tool and convert it. And in 30 minutes, I had a better working tool than at least more to what I wanted, right? But I converted that version over. And this is where we're in the age of ideas, right? Like unless you can crazily lock down your code, which I don't think is really possible, man, it's just whatever you want, you can build.
Right. Well, I think we're going to be in the age of just personal software where you just need the idea and it just creates it personally for you. I mean, you saw that tool that you created, you're like, oh, I want this. There was an open source project or whatever it was. It's just like, oh, I need this to work on Windows. Okay, no problem. Because it knew what it needed to do the same functions.
Yeah, it's so good at programming, and that drives so much of at least what we all do.
Yeah.
Right.
And translating from one thing to another that it can run. You know what I mean? It's like almost a perfect translator.
Tap into over 466 plus hours of AHK video gold, including fresh clips like this, for anytime learning that fits your schedule. Grab 25% off all our AHK goodies, courses, scripts, and custom work so you save cash while building your toolkit like a boss.